All right, everybody, welcome back to the Double R post-game show featuring your boy Double R. Ravens lose big at home, 44-10 to the Houston Texans. Let me repeat that again, 44-10, beat down, belt to ass by the Houston Texans, 44-10. Worst Ravens loss at home under John Harbaugh, 34-point loss at home. No effort, undisciplined. Cooper Rush was the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, and as you could probably tell by saying Cooper Rush started, you probably know how that went. Let's go with the Ravens stats. Let's go with the ugly first. We'll talk about the good with the Texans here. Cooper Rush, 14 of 20, 179 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, was sacked 1 time for 16 yards. Derrick Henry, 15 carries, 33 yards. They get a touchdown. If anybody in fantasy, they get a touchdown. 𝐂𝐚𝐬𝐡 Mitchell came back from injury. Was on the active list, 3 carries for 8 yards. Hopkins had 2 catches for 46 yards. Flowers, 5 catches for 72 yards. Really not much to talk about here. I mean, that's been the day. When you score 10 points, I mean, that's kind of what you're talking about. Let's go over to the bright side. If you're a Texans fan, C.J. Stroud, 23 of 27, 244, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions, sacked 2 times for 17 yards. Nick Chubb, 11 carries for 61 yards. Stroud had a big curry for 30 yards. Marks had a big run, a couple big runs. The high man receiving, Christian Kirk, 4 for 64. Dalton Schultz, 5 for 60. This was a beatdown, bro. The Ravens had 19 plays ran at halftime. We talked about this at the halftime show. They finished with 40 plays. They ran 40 plays this game. Now, remember early in the stream, before we even started the stream, I said Derrick Henry and 𝐂𝐚𝐬𝐡 Mitchell, or the combination of Mitchell, Hill, and Henry, need to have over 25 carries in this game for them to win the game. They didn't even come close to that. They had 40 plays ran. Bro, this is insane. Texas with 417 yards of total offense. Ravens 207, 27 first downs to the Ravens 12, bro. I mean, 6.3 yards per play. Ravens 5.2. Penalties and the timing of the penalties are what they are. Like I said before, Ravens lose these games because they can't win in the trenches. 167 yards rushing for Houston, 44 for the Ravens. So you can't stop nobody in the trenches, and you can't run in the trenches. And when you can't handle the line of scrimmage, you're in for a long day, because you gotta be good at least in one side of the trenches. When you're not good on the defensive side and the offensive side in the trenches, you're a bad football team. And you're not going to win any football games when you can't win the line of scrimmage battle. And that's what's happening. The Ravens are so used to out-rushing people. This is what the offense looks like when Lamar Jackson is not in there. And Lamar hasn't even been running that much this year, but the threat of Lamar makes a big difference. And 19 rushing attempts, and that's even skewed because they did rush the ball a little bit more in the second half, but the game was already over. 2.3 yards per rush. 2.3 yards per rush, man. I mean, this is insane, bro. 3 turnovers, all by Cooper Rush interceptions. I said in the broadcast, I'd rather see Tyler Huntley play. Obviously, we're not going to see Tyler Huntley play because they paid Cooper Rush all that money to be a backup. But I would rather see Tyler Huntley play as quarterback because he has familiarity with the players, the offense. You know, he has familiarity. Well, he wasn't playing with Derrick Henry because he wasn't here last year, but he has familiarity with Bateman, well, actually, that's probably it. But he has familiarity with the offense, and so he has familiarity with Todd Monken, right? So I don't know, bro. I don't know what to say. I mean, this is bad. So let me get to the main thing, elephant in the room. Let's talk about it. Harbaugh. What I seen this game was very concerning. There was no effort. There was no effort in this game. Maybe I should have started the show off with this, because this is the game itself is whatever. But there is no effort in this game at all. And effort is a coaching thing. If you can't coach your guys to at least play with effort, I have to point to the coach. I have to. There's no effort. The the line of scrimmage stuff with Isaiah Likely, illegal formation, false starts, defensive side, illegal contact. It's like the penalties were just nasty. 9 penalties for 49 yards. 9 penalties, and you play with no effort. So you're undisciplined. You're undisciplined, and you're playing with no effort. That is coaching. That is all coaching. Penalties and effort is coaching. That is and that is why John Harbaugh needs to be removed from his relieved of his duties ASAP. Because it's one thing if you lose the game and you play with effort, it's a nail biter, even though you're undermanned with the injuries. But it's another thing to play with no effort, no heart. I see people on the sidelines laughing. Lamar and Huntley laughing. A couple times they showed in the broadcast. They're laughing, getting beat down. There is no respect for the coach. There's got to be no respect for the coach here. When you're seeing penalties, no effort, and people laughing on the sidelines. We heard Harbaugh and Monken in their pressers this week. One is taking accountability, the other one is taking no accountability. This is bad, bro. This is really bad. I have never seen a Ravens game where they got beat like this at home. You barely see the Ravens get beat like this in general, but at home, this is bad, bro. This is bad, bro. And they play the Rams next week. 1-4, bro. 1-4, man. I mean, I don't know what to say. It gets worse next week. You got to deal with Matthew. You thought the Texans were bad. First of all, as I mentioned in the broadcast, you got Buffalo, Detroit, the Chiefs, the Texans. If I told you before the season started in this little 5-game stretch that the Texans would be the one team to drop the most points on the Ravens out of those teams I mentioned, you would laugh at me right now. You might even slap me. You might even slap me for saying a statement like that. The Texans have scored the most points out of those 3 teams. The Bills, the Lions, and the Chiefs. The Texans had 44 points. Bills had 41. Lions had 38. Chiefs had 37. Texans with 44 points. That is embarrassing. That is all coaching. Zach Orr needs to go to, and I love Zach Orr. I love him as a player. I love him as a person. He's a Gemini too, but he's got to go, bro. He's got to go. Him and Harbaugh. I can't even blame Monken on this. Monken gets a little bit of blame because the running game, that offensive line is not that good right now. But they got to go, bro. They have to go. I need to hear the post-game presser from John Harbaugh after this one, bro. Because this is downright disgusting, bro. This is downright disgusting football. It is downright disgusting football. This is so bad, bro. This is. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, y'all. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna upload this post-game video on YouTube. Make sure you go like and comment. It'll be up in the next couple minutes here. But we're gonna vibe out until I get this video uploaded. But this is the Double R post-game show. Ravens are 1-4. They got the Rams next week, potentially 1-5, with no Lamar Jackson, no defense. They even when the guys were playing defense, the guys before the injuries they were playing bad. Now they got injuries, no defense, no Lamar. Can't put up no more than 10 points. This is bad, bro. Double R post-game show. This is your boy Retro Recap. Double R, we out.